On this week's episode of Casting It Out, me and Kayla are going to be talking about our experiences with making friends.
Oh, yeah. Yep. All the good and the bad.
Good, bad, otherwise, just like all things.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to specifically kind of go through what it's been like making friends as an adult and how different it is, and, you know, how we've made friends even though it's not as easy as it used to be.
No, certainly not. Definitely much harder now as an adult. I'd rather make friends as a child.
I used to love, like, when I was a kid, my dad used to just be like, go up and just ask them to be your friend. And I'd be like, no, maybe. And then I would just be like, do you want to be my friend? And then, like, I would make a friend for the day at the park. Not that I'd make a lifelong friend,
No.
but
I wonder if that would work today. Just going up to somebody in like a bar and be like, hey, want to be my friend?
honestly, I feel like it would. I feel like there's such a need for people to have, like, third spaces and connection and community that, like, you probably could go up to someone and just say, do you want to be my friend? Would
Right?
you like to be my friend? Are you lacking friends in Nashville, Tennessee? Well, we would like to be your friend.
Infomercial.
Have you not been able to make friends in Nashville, Tennessee? Well, have you tried going up to people at the bar and asking them to be friends?
Please, if you use this tip, please call us.
Hot tip of the week.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, growing up with, like, I feel like because we stayed mostly in the same area our whole lives, like when we were younger, that I feel like I've had a lot of the same friends. I think the only major shift I had was when I went off to college.
When I always struggled making friends as a kid. Like, I was super socially awkward. And then when I lived in a couple different towns. So, like, I grew up in the same area, but lived in several different towns, went to a lot of different schools. I ended up being the weird kid at basically every school that I ever went to. I had some weird childhood experiences that, like, no one ever taught me how to, like, make friends and, like, build relationships with people. There was no, like, real example set of, like, oh, this is how you're gonna make friends, because I'd never seen anyone make friends before. I'd never had anyone that, like, really influenced that. And then by the time I made it to middle school, I had been picked on so much my whole life that I thought that mean kids were, like, the ones that had friends, because the kids that are picking on you, like, they seem to have friends. And so I went from, okay, I'm not going to be weird anymore. I'm just going to be mean because people who are mean have friends, which is insane to think about as an adult, where, like, I was just such a shitty kid. Like, and it wasn't even that it was my intention to, like, want to be mean. It's just that I thought that's how you survived. I thought that's how you made friends. And, like, I feel terrible now because I was just, honestly, at one point, I was kind of a heinous bitch.
All right.
If I'm being completely honest. And so I think that when I was younger, it was even worse than, like, now, where at least I've developed some semblance of, like, social skills. I'm not the best still, but I remember growing up, like, I remember in my first school, like, I was able to make friends until I was, like, in the second grade and moved. But then after that, it was so hard for me. Like, you know, when you show up the first day of, like, kindergarten, like, it's so easy to make a friend. But the older you get, the more that people already have friends. And, like, it was all small towns, people that never move. I went to 2 schools each. So, like, elementary, middle, and high school. I went to 2 different schools for each of those.
Oh, wow.
And so it was just like I was never with the same people. So, I mean, and honestly, sometimes that was a godsend because like I said, I was weird for a while. I was also, like, kind of mean, like, actual, like, legit so mean for a while. But that's what I thought. I saw the example of, like, oh, these people, like, they're mean and they have friends. So maybe if I'm, like, mean, I'll be cool and I'll have friends.
Do you think that made it easier for you to, like, cut people out? Just because you were always moving around, you were like, well, I'll make new friends over here and do it this way because I'm just going to be moving soon? Or do you feel like you were still just as devastated when you were leaving?
I feel like I never had enough friends to, like, hold on to. So, like, I have one friend who I'm still friends with that I've been friends since I was, like, 5 years old. And then I have another friend where I was friends with her from the time I was 7, and life changed and, you know, we changed as people and we're no longer friends. But for the most part, growing up, like, I didn't have a ton of friends to have to let go of. I remember I had one friend in like the fourth grade that I had to let go of because, like, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I ended up calling her a jerk, and she went and she was like, I told my mom that you called me a jerk. And I don't even remember exactly how it all fleshed out. That was pre me being a mean kid, but definitely post me being a weird kid.
Oh, I love how she went and told her mom.
Well, she was like family friend.
Oh, goodness.
So, like, it was definitely a threat. It was like, I went and told my mom. And it's like, oh, well, she can go ahead and tell my mom. I mean, my mom's not really friends with your mom anymore. I mean, it was past that point. But like I said, I didn't really have a great example of, like, how to, like, get and maintain friends growing up. Like,
True.
I didn't have, like, the development of, like, the example of social skills until much later.
Yeah, I think I did okay, and I'll give my parents credit where credit's due. They had so many family friends, which most of them I still call like aunt and uncle to this day, that like I could see how beneficial it is to have like a family friend and have them for a long, long time. Like a lot of the friends that my dad still like talks to and really speaks to are from like high school and middle school and stuff. And he loves them. Like a lot of that's who I hung out with growing up. When school started and we had to all start going to like where the homes were and like we were in different towns, so we didn't see each other as often. So I had to start making like friends of my own because it wasn't just family friends anymore. But I think I had enough to go off of just based on like how well my parents got along with their family friends, and I used to see them all the time. So I was like, this is perfect because I want that. I want like this kind of family friend aspect for like ever. So I mean, I still have some friends from when I was really young. Um, I just think like the milestones of like switching, like I know you go from like elementary school, like those are your friends forever, and you used to like write it in your journal, and then we'd go to middle school, and you're like, that's when our middle school had all three towns come together from all separate elementary schools, and you're like, whoa, there's so many kids, and you start making new friends, and then from middle school through high school, those are your friends. And I think even like playing sports had a big thing to do with it, like especially when I started cheering, it changed my friend group completely. So I was like, I hang out with them every day. I have to be friends with them because I'm going to see them every day.
I'm glad you had that perspective because unfortunately I did not. I was just kind of a nightmare. I was like the very honestly just like independent when it came to like cheering, where it was like, yeah, I'm part of a team and like I don't drop people, I don't do any of that stuff, but like a lot of the girls that I did cheering with were meaner than I was. I mean, when I first started, like I wouldn't consider myself to have been a mean girl, but like as I got like older through that like 8th, 9th grade, I just started to be shitty. And that included like when I was on like a cheering team, because also like a lot of those girls, I mean, they were also mean too. So it was just such a compiled group of people that like I didn't fit in, but I also wasn't doing much for myself to make it happen. Like I wish I did. Looking back, like I feel like I could have built really great relationships with people if I knew how to do it. And I knew how to not be so moody and mean all the time. And like I was going through it. Like I had a lot of stuff in my life that I was going through, and like
Yeah.
but at the same time I was just so like I just didn't know what to do, so I just did what everyone else was doing.
Right.
And so it makes me sad thinking about it now, because like I even was like so mean at one point. I definitely made some girls quit some cheerleading, and I feel horrendous about it now. But like I also just didn't think about it that way then. Like I was just like, ugh, like we need to do it this way and we need to do this, and like, ugh, like
Yeah.
I was just so bitchy toward everyone. And it's like no wonder I didn't have friends. But no one was sitting there like actually showing me and teaching me how to like be a good friend and have friends, because like, you know, I feel like my siblings are so much younger than me that like my parents were in their very like taking care of small children phase in their life where like you don't really spend as much time with friends and you don't do like it wasn't until they were a little bit older that they really started to have friends come around a ton where it's like they each had like maybe like one or two friends at any given time or like their friends would be weird and I'd be like, I don't want to make friends like that. But I mean, so it's just like interesting to like see the different like aspects of it. And then like I had neighbors that were boys and I was like, I'm gonna be one of the boys, but they were mean. They were horrendous. And I was just mean. Like, I always just thought that like, oh, I should just, I'm gonna tell you, like, I was probably one of the most horrendous people when I was growing up, like in a way. And like a lot of it links back to the fact that like I was going through it and I felt very alone all the time. And like, I just didn't know how to deal with it. And like, I went to like different therapists and stuff. Like I went to two. One of them was a family therapist that like my siblings had already gone to and like my stepmom was going to. And I was like, I just literally stared at her and never spoke a single word, which honestly, looking back now, I'm kind of grateful because like I would never know like what was shared or what wasn't just because like, if you talk to the whole family, like what slips out, what doesn't, like they're human beings, even though they have their oaths and their, like legal obligations. So you never know there. And then the next one, she was so old. And like to this day, like my therapist now, I think she's younger than me. She's like approximately our age,
really?
But like I never wanted to talk to someone who was 40 years older than me, 50 years older than me when I was 12, 13 years old. Like I would have really benefited from someone who, was someone that I could like talk to and like feel connected to, where it's like those older people, like, and it's not for lack of trying that like my family didn't try and deal with all these things, but it was a very, I don't know. I was just kind of a terror. And like, I'm glad that I got to grow into being a different person because I look back on it and I'm like, I wish that I had known how to like navigate life better and had like a better like base of social skills to just like create like lifelong friends. And like, don't get me wrong, I have one friend that I've had since I was 5 years old and I have really like a handful of friends from high school still. I do have them. But other than that, I mean, I don't really have that many people that like came from sports or anything like that. I was just, I don't know. I just wasn't in sports to like build relationships, which is crazy. Cause like looking at it now, like I do stuff now so that way I can make friends and hang out and like be so intentional about meeting people. But back then I wanted friends so desperately, but had no idea how to go about it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I did gymnastics for so long, and that's like a solo sport. So I felt like I didn't love that because there wasn't really much of a team aspect to it. I mean, it was like, yeah, get the team, your gym, the most amount of points kind of thing. But like you didn't rely on anybody for anything. So when they did ask me to join cheering, a couple of my friends were like, you should do cheering with us. And I was like, all right. So I tried out and made it and was like, I think I've always wanted that like big girl friendship thing. Like where you always have these girls you can always go to. You saw them every day. Like I really enjoyed it. Like cheering did me wonders for like my personality. I think if I didn't do that, I would have been an introvert forever. I think if I did not do cheering, I would have been introverted for the longest time. Like we even have a family friend that used to say that we used to like not even want to talk to adults when we were younger because we were so introverted. But I was like, as I grew up, I was like, I don't want to be like that. I wanted to be able to like be approachable and also be able to approach other people. So I think cheering made that happen for me.
Also getting to be like a little bit more, I guess like out there, like doing things rather than being so cooped up. Cause I spent a lot of time being like grounded and in trouble and like, because it would be like, you didn't do your homework. I hope you didn't want friends. Like, and then like I had so much trouble maintaining them anyway. So it was always just like this nightmare that like, oh great, now I'm going to lose another friend because I'm in trouble. But Allie's my friend to this day. Like she's been one of my best friends my entire life and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh, that's
and when we were like 17 really was like that transition where I would hang out with her all the time. Like we'd go out all night. Like her mom did not care at all. She would just she'd just go to bed, let us leave. Like we used to be able to like drink and do whatever at her house. Like that was the
She's a cool mom.
I mean, you could say that. She was more so just she had her own thing going on. So we used to just literally jump in Allie's she had like this little blue like cabriolet like convertible that she's just still to this day obsessed with, and we would just ride that around and like go all over the place, like go out all night, come home at like 4, 5, 6 in the morning, and then have to function for the rest of the day. Okay. And like we weren't even always like going out and drinking and doing whatever. We were just going out and like being kids, like, which was like such a great experience for me because I don't think I had ever really like had like a safe freedom to have like to like do things that I shouldn't but aren't necessarily that dangerous. So that was really like when I started to like make friends and have fun because I feel like I had like the ability to like, I don't know, just figure it out for myself and like be in a scenario where I had a friend, where I wasn't so desperate to make friends because I had a friend. And, you know, we hung out with that group of people for years. And I mean, they became a lot of my friends. And then like I made, you know, I went to the same community college as Allie and like we made friends there, but also knew a lot of people from growing up. And, you know, it was kind of that like weird balance. And then, as you know, I did horrendous my first time in college, mostly because it was like, yay, freedom. And I don't really have to have rules because I'm kind of an adult, even though I wasn't really an adult.
Well, didn't we all do that?
So I was kind of a degenerate, but I got the opportunity to finally make friends. And like, I consider like, because I didn't really have like a true like college experience like a lot of people, I consider like one of my good friends, Andra, like she's like almost like I made friends with her like at that age where it's like college age where you're like young adult, little chaotic, definitely very chaotic, let's be real here. So like, and she's someone that I'm still friends with to this day, where I'm like, I'm so grateful that like, even though my experiences weren't necessarily like in line with like the expectation, like I definitely got to grow into being able to like make friends and meet people and like find my people, where for the longest time, like I couldn't even imagine knowing how to even interact with people to make friends.
Right. Yeah, I think that step going to college really did like I made some new friends that like I'm still friends with today. Like that really did help me with a lot of it. I was like, because we were in a small town. You had to make friends with the people that were there. Not that I'm mad at any of those friendships. I don't talk to them as much as I probably should, and I think they were good for the time. Like they were great friends then. We just kind of grew apart, and I think that was fine. But when I went to college, I made some really good friends there. And I think that's like where you were like, oh, okay, can I do this now as an adult where it's not such a small town anymore? Like, am I capable of still making friends? So that one was fun. It was almost like the opposite effect. It was like I was closer friends with people that weren't on the cheering team in college than I was with that cheering team. So it was an interesting switch for me because I was like, this is weird. I thought I'd be closer to my teammates, but I'm not. So that was weird. But I've made some really, really good friends like my freshman year of college. But then when I switched colleges, I didn't make as many at like the next place. And I think that was fine. I don't think I really loved the rest of college. I mean, I definitely went to college and did what you're supposed to do at college. Go out, have fun, do all the stupid things you're going to do. But I don't think I liked the new college as much. I didn't have like such a good friendship, which is why I think it was so good that I did go to that freshman year college. Even though I didn't like that school, it was worth it for me to go for 1 year to meet the friends that I got from that college. So I thought that part was worth it to me.
That honestly, I get that. I mean, I was always online or commuter, like community college, and then commuted to like the state school. I like worked so much, and So, and I had my friends, honestly, for the most part after college. There were times where it would like drop off, where we'd all be like so busy because like a lot of my friends growing up, or even some of the ones I made when I was a little bit older, like, where we're from, people get married and have children young and do all of that sort of stuff, whether intentionally or not. And I felt like I kind of got like left behind sometimes, where it would be like my friends would kind of forget that I exist. And I had mentioned obviously a bunch of times that like I wasn't good at, making friends. And at the time too, it was just so hard for me to like maintain those friends as well and like reach out to them even when they were busy, where it was like there was only a handful of people that like I would always talk to. But I remember at one point my ex was like, you don't need other friends. You've got me. I should have known. That was like the red flag then, where it's like,
That's
oh,
scary.
I'm isolated and you said I only need you.
That's scary.
I should have known then. But not that long after that, like I ended up getting a call from like Dan and Andra about something like completely random. And it kind of made me think about the fact that like, oh, like I don't necessarily need to like feel weird about reaching out to someone after it's been a while. Like people do appreciate it, and I still get weird about it. I get really like, when it's been a while, it's like I just don't want someone to like give me crap about how long it's been. This like, listen, I'm trying, I'm doing my best right now, or like, or if I don't have anything to say, I don't like reach out. Like I don't know what to do. I'm like, do you want to see pictures of my dog or my cat? Like, do you want to see Henry and Shiva? Because that's kind of what I've got going on. Like if I don't have something to talk about, I'm like terrible at like keeping in touch and reconnecting. And like, especially now living here, like all of my mass friends, it's like, other than like Sam, and even then sometimes not her, I mean, like I struggle to like keep in touch because like we're not doing the same things. Like we interact with each other on social media. And then once I get to town, it's like, yeah, of course I'm gonna see them. But then you also have to like decide like who you see, because you can't see everyone. And it's like, I always see Sam because, sister of my soul. But everyone else, it gets to be kind of difficult. Like I usually try and see Andra. Sometimes I like try and see Kaylee, where it's like I haven't had the time to see everyone, because every time I've gone up to recently, it's been like, oh, there's a wedding, there's a baby shower. No shade, Sam, if you're listening to this. Not throwing shade. Very happy for all of your accomplishments. But but I've been going up for very intentional things. So I haven't had time to just go to people and see them.
Right.
Where like, and then it's like, I just don't have much to say to people when they're not here. It's like me talking about like the stuff that I'm doing in Nashville, I feel like is so irrelevant to the lives that my other friends are living, where unless we're like hanging out together, I don't really need to talk about it, because it's just like my life's on repeat, their life's on repeat. And there's not much to share where we have like a ton of crossover. And it's not that I don't have fun when I get together with people, but like, what do I have to say? I mean, I have plenty to say on this podcast, but I just don't feel like I feel like I'm such like a bother to people if I don't have anything to say. Like even talking to my like grandma a couple days ago for her birthday, it was just like an awkward conversation because I didn't really have anything to say other than like, oh, happy birthday. Like I don't know I don't have anything to share. Everything's the same since you came last. There's no updates of my life. Yeah. So it's kind of like weird where it's like, even though we live this like child-free existence where it seems like we can just do whatever we want whenever we want, which I mean we do, we still have like routines and do a lot of the same stuff and interact with a lot of the same people.
Yeah I think it's good to try and keep in touch. Sometimes I just like, it feels good, like if something reminds me of somebody, I'll send it and be like, this remind me of you. And I'm like, I don't know that we need to make it like a long conversation, but at least I reached out a little bit, because as Jordan said, the phone works both ways, so that can still, it's still true to everybody. I mean, I still have a good amount of friends that I made after college too, which was weird because I came back to live in that same area, but there were more people that like I just didn't know in a different group of friends that I ended up making, and I made like best friend in that area, and I'm like living it up. I love them. I miss them a lot. Like thanks, Josh, for getting me and Heather to be friends. We needed that push because apparently we're both not adults. But like in that scenario, like Josh was like, "You two get along, just be friends." Like, so it was worth it. Like, you just had to say it out loud for us to just be like, "Oh yeah, he's right." So and we've been friends ever since. We've been friends for like 9 years at this point. Like, it's been so long. So now it was like, well, yeah, that was right. And I'll always miss Heather and Josh. They're the greatest. But it's just like, it's weird how you make friends as you get older. Like, I never expected to like make new friends, but also living in that same town when I came back from college. Like, there's no way I thought that was happening.
I know exactly what you mean, because there was this friend group that I had for probably about a couple of years, I'd say, where one girl was like friends with like my ex's friends, but also friends with a girl that I was like kind of acquaintances with. And also, she was also kind of like acquaintances with Sam. And obviously, Sam's my best friend. And so I invited that girl that we're acquaintances with to like a Christmas party I had. And I had gone to another Christmas party where I had met that girl that was friends with, you know, my ex's friends, and then also this acquaintance girl. Mm-hmm. So the next day, like a couple days later after, it was the day after the party at his friend's house, where I'm like, oh, so I always called her the sleepy girl because she fell asleep during the party because she had worked all day. She was exhausted. I was like, I saw a picture of her and that girl that was like our acquaintance, and I was like, oh my God, the sleepy girl is friends with Sarah. And so eventually Sam and I ended up hanging out with Sarah, and then Sarah brought Jess, and then we also have Felicia, which obviously you know as well. And it was just like, we had this really great friend group for a while, and it fueled my soul. Like, you know, it was during that time too that like I became single, and I relied really heavily on my friends, where like I had been in such a long-term relationship for so long and like attached to the hip to someone that like I didn't know how to be alone. And like, thank God I had friends. But like, it was almost like my friends fell into my lap as I got older, even though they were like, it was like my connection with Sarah was that we worked at McDonald's with her when we were younger, which used to be like a method of finding friends when we're at a party. It's like, oh, we worked at McDonald's with these people, we can hang out with them for a night.
Oh, jeez. They get it.
They get it. But and then she had also like moved out by where I was living, and we like I took a kickboxing class, and she was like there. And so that's kind of how that like happened, and we ended up all being like really great friends for a while. It's just like, you know, I moved away, Jess moved away, like, and she was really good at maintaining her friendships with them, but like I wasn't really, other than like truthfully like with Sam, and I'm still friends with Felicia too. I mean, it's just like one of those things where over time like your friendships that you don't maintain kind of dissolve, and like they kind of just fade away, and you're like, you know what, like these people are important. And I like, it was always so great when like I'd go out, like Evan would play a show and I'd get to see everyone, but it's like, you can't, when you live far away, you can't always see everyone. So you can't make plans to see everyone. So I always try to do like I'm going out, come hang out with me, or like I'm meeting up here, come hang, because it's like I have family, and then I have like close friends. I have family that lives in different areas that I always visit. Like I always visit my cousin and his family, and it's like, so it's always one of those things where it's like, sometimes you also have to like look at it and like kind of like let go of like those friendships that like, yeah, they're like nice to have, and like no hate toward them at all, but it's just like, to maintain being friends with so many people that like aren't in your life really, like you realize like who your like really good friends are, and then who people that like it's just too hard to be friends from a distance with.
Yeah, I think it is hard to be friends with people from a distance. I feel like you definitely work harder to keep certain ones, and that you think will be like everybody, like is a beneficial friendship for everybody, but like some I just kind of just let slide. I don't feel like a lot of the people that maybe I let them slide a little bit, I don't feel like when I see them anything's really changed. Like we still talk to each other the same way we used to always, but it's just we're just not as close as we used to be, which kind of makes me sad, but like I can't keep up with all of them. So
That's kind of how I feel. Like I'm still very close with like my best friends, like the people that like I've always been super close to, but then like people that were always kind of like friends. But I wasn't like, there were times in my life where I've been like close to different people in different ways. Like I've been like borderline like best friends with a lot of people in my life, truthfully. But a lot of those people, it's just like they kind of come in and out at different times, and like we're all living different lives. And like I said, like a lot of my friends, like they have families and lives, and I'm out here in Nashville just living. L-I-V-I-N.
Yeah. Yep. No, I mean like Christine, we always went through like phases where we didn't like talk for a little bit, but every time I talk to her, like it doesn't feel like a lot of like a phase has gone by. It feels like, oh, I just talked to her yesterday. So like I think that's what makes like one of the better friends is where you can at least talk to them even though it's been a little while. You can talk to them and like nothing's changed.
I get that.
Like in that sense.
That's how it is with Allie, where it's like a lot of the time, truthfully, like we communicate through like TikToks. Oh. Like that's how I maintain a lot of my friendships. That's actually one of the ways that I like would make friends is like through like reels and TikToks where it's like, do we both think this is funny? Do you want to be my friend? Circling back to my dad being like, just ask them to be your friend.
Yep.
But I mean, so I don't know. I
mean, like Heather and Christine are both married now, so it's a different dynamic now because they both have their husbands, but they still like need that girl stuff too. So it's like I just don't talk to them as often as I'd like, but life moves on, and I think they're doing the right thing. I don't fault them for doing whatever they need to do, but it's just like friendship shifts a little, but they're still always there for me.
Yeah, I think that's part of it is that like when it really comes down to it, like I would show up for any of my friends that asked me to show up for them.
Yeah.
And that's at the end of the day what it is. And I mean, it's so different than like my friends here because it's like I said, I'd consider like my absolute best friend in the whole world lives 1,000 miles away from me, and I would do anything for her and her family. But like we don't talk as much as like me and you or any of my friends here because here it's like, what are we going to do today? Yeah. Hey, what's going on? Hey, let me tell you what's going on right now. Let me tell you about this moment that like we can almost like share like the stupid things that are like, I got to tell you about what happened here, happened there, or like the things that are just like kind of blow offy where like when you like have an intentional conversation with like a friend you don't see, you're almost like, I don't really want to talk about that. Like, I don't want to complain about like XYZ that happened. Like, I don't want to like bring them down in the conversations that I'm having with them.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it's like you almost want to make sure all your time is special. When you do get the moment to like talk to somebody you haven't talked to in a while, be like, well, I don't want to be depressing. I'd rather it be a happy moment instead.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. I mean, and I don't know. I kind of went through it truthfully, like, because I was super lucky. Sam moved here when I first moved here for like 6 months. So I didn't even try and make friends. So I was like, and I was like still keeping up with like a lot of people when I first moved here because I never had the intention of staying here forever. I was like, I'm going to go have a good time and then I'm going to go back to my normal life. And that's not what happened. Like I fell in love with Nashville. Like I love it here. I can honestly confidently say that too, because like, I know there's like a lot of shade thrown at like, oh, like Nashville's so commercialized. It's so this, it's so that. And like, yes, a lot of the soul of Nashville has been ripped out. But I have like a lot of people in like the community that I'm friends with now and that like I see out and about and like the local businesses I go to. Like, you don't have to support the big businesses. You can support local businesses. You can make the choice. You can find your people. You can find like the parts of Nashville that make your heart sing. You don't have to go to the places. Well, sometimes you have to go. When people visit, you have to go to Broadway.
When people visit, you must go to Broadway. And it is the only time I go to Broadway.
The only time. But you know, I think about how when Sam was here, it was like she was making friends left and right. Like, she's so good at like immediately got a job, made friends left and right, like was so good at all that stuff, would try and share her friends with me. Honestly, I did not do good. Like, she used to always say that like I'd say something weird and I wouldn't let it go. I would like say something weird, notice I said something weird, and then just start digging a hole where like I just like make it worse by like adding to it. And she's like, I don't know why you got to dig that hole. She's like, you said one weird thing the other night. You got so uncomfortable that you just kept making it worse and like piling it on and piling it on. And everyone would have moved past it if you would just stop talking about it.
You would have just shut your damn mouth.
You would have shut your mouth. This
easier.
would have been fine. So like, I didn't even try when I like first moved here to make any friends.
Maybe that was your
truthfully.
subconscious. Like, I don't want these friends. Let's make it weird.
I don't want these friends. Let's make it weird.
I think that's
Truthfully, I mean, I didn't really care about making any other friends because I was like, I have friends at home. My best friend lives here. What do I have to do? I don't care. And then, you know, after Jordan and I met, it was like, oh, okay, like this is nice. So like Sam ends up moving away because she got the job that she'd wanted forever. Mm-hmm. And then I'm spending all this time with Jordan, which is great when you're in your honeymoon phase. And like I had roommates at the time, so I had like built-in friends. Mm-hmm. So that was super nice. So it was like across the board, I was like, I wasn't really hurting for friends until Jordan and I moved in together about like a year and a half into our relationship, when I realized that all of like my friends were just like basically people that like he was friends with that he knew.
Extensions of Jordan.
Yes, extensions of Jordan. And I literally one night was like, I need friends that aren't your friends. And he's like, yeah, if you want friends, like go make friends. And I was like, I think I'm gonna do Bumble BFF. And he was like, that sounds great, go make yourself some friends. Like, mm-hmm. And that's actually the first way that I started to like make friends, truthfully, of my own.
I'm still afraid to do the Bumble BFF. I am so much better in person, but the Bumble BFF scares me.
Honestly, it did, because like at first I'm like, oh, I'm so stupid that I have to make friends on the internet. But like we're in the age of technology, and honestly, like I made a really good friend. Yes. One really good friend that I've specifically like kept on Bumble BFF. Like, and I met a lot of people. It's just like online dating, except you get to like keep as many as you want. Like there's some weirdos out there. That's a reality.
Yeah.
But that would be the same thing if you like went out and went up to someone and just said, do you want to be my friend? And that's kind of like what Bumble BFF can facilitate is, do you want to be my friend?
Yeah.
Which I haven't done that in a while because, so, you know, I made my friend Amelia that like I've been friends with for a while. I had made a couple other friends that I'd hung out with like a decent amount, but I didn't really, over time, we kind of just grew apart. And then I started Krav. And that's really where, I mean, initially I didn't make any friends because I was also like in that weird spot where I'm like, I think I could make friends, but I didn't really make any until I was there for about like a year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was literally just by chance that like, that's when I met Dominique and Janae and this girl Mary, and then eventually met Brittany. And like, those were like my core friends for like a while. And I mean, they still are. I mean, shout out my Nashville friends. But you know, that was kind of like a turning point for me where I'm like, and there were times where like I hopped back on Bumble BFF because like I've had this like yearning to have a friend like Sam, which isn't realistic. I mean, like you don't get that many friends like that. So
yeah.
But you know, I basically only had my one online friend that like we've met in person. We're friends in real life. Just to clarify.
So she says. Just kidding.
She's actually pretend.
Invisible.
I had like that, like I had that one friend I had made on my own, and then like my Krav friends, and then that was it. And like I was very content with that. And then but you know, the next person to kind of come along in my life to be my friend was you, actually, where it was like, yeah, we had been friends beforehand. But it was like kind of nice because I was like, oh, you're like my piece of home, like that I've been missing.
And I just latched onto you because I was like, I need help. I have no other friends here.
How, like, I know that, you know, you've kind of had some built-in friends, but like, have like, tell me more, because like I don't really, I know that like you came in at a different time where like
Mm-hmm.
I came to Nashville and I was just like a chaos monster, where like you're more of like the cool, calm, collected, like settled in with like what your life is gonna be, rather than I
very
was
kind.
literally a nightmare when I moved here. I was a gremlin. I was just, yeah, I was a tornado of emotions, and like as a human, like, I mean, I was a lot. I feel like this entire thing has been, this is why I didn't have friends, because I was
No.
a psycho. But anyway,
No, you were good. You were good. I honestly, a part of me wishes I was slightly more chaotic because I think it might be easier because I'd go like out to different places or try more and more new things if I wasn't so like, I'm content enjoying my rent this evening. Like, that's basically what I've got like so far. So I'm trying to like push myself to go do more things, but it's not as easy because I still consider doing the Bumble BFF because not that I don't love you or your friends that I've made that we're now friends with, but it's just like I think I need to try to find like one sort of like almost on my own, like try to give it a go. I still need to give it a go. I haven't done it 'cause it scares me, but I'm gonna do it.
oh, will that be our next little
Yeah.
adventure we'll be
Yeah.
able to share with everyone, is Kayla goes online to make friends?
Yeah, it'll be better than the dating one because I get a lot of hate for it.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I'd do it again
but-
too. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like there's always people out there that you could become friends with that could be like your next best friend and you just don't know.
Yeah.
Best friend in a different way. Just wanted
Yeah.
to clarify. Not replacing, just another best friend.
No one can be replaced.
Um,
That's the way.
but you know, I think about it a lot where like sometimes I'm just like, I love the people that I have, but sometimes I think about like wanting to, you know, get to know even more people in like our community and stuff, where like I'm lucky like we have a lot of bar friends, which is nice.
Yeah, we do.
But then it's like, okay, so like I have like neighborhood friends that like I see when I'm out and about. I have my friends like that I, you know, I do Krav with. And then, you know, I have basically one friend that I've made separate from activities that I've done.
Mm.
And like that's kind of it. So like I kind of get like wanting to have like more people that you're friends with in your life that you can
Yeah.
kind of have around. But then I also think about how it's like, how much time do I really have to make like for more friends in my life? Like how many more people can I fit in and actually like have like a good friendship with?
Right? Like I was doing Pilates for a while, but the time slot that I would go to all the time, it'd be a lot of like the older crowd. So it was just like, which I'm surprisingly good at making friends that are like older. But like I was like, this is not, they're never going to come to the bar with me on Thursday night. Like they're definitely done with that phase of life, but it's nice to know them. They're great people. But like, I was like, it's just isn't like, this isn't like best friend territory.
Yeah, it's like those are people that like you could maybe like get to go to breakfast with you every once in a while. Not even brunch, not even like a good drunk brunch.
Just get invited to their cookout, I think
Yeah.
really would be the space.
the cookout where it's like their kids are your age and you're just like, you know what? Maybe I can be friends with your kids, and the kids are like, no, you're weird. You're friends with my mom.
I'm like that one oddball. That's the only one in the in between of their children and them.
yeah, I think that
That sums me up, I think.
that has to be the next venture though. Is I'll get back on Bumble BFF. You can
Yeah.
try and make a couple more friends,
I'll
and then
try
you
and
can.
do it.
Honestly, it's so much easier than like dating because like you don't have to worry as much about like what you look like. It just matters more so like, what do you like to do? Do you want to do the same things as me? Do you want to be my friend?
wanna
Like it's
do
literally the equivalent of what my dad expected life to be for me. Going up to someone and saying, "Do you want to be my friend?"
Yep.
And it feels like weird and embarrassing, but everyone's there. Everyone's there to do it.
I know.
So
which
like
is weird.
full send, right?
Which is good.
Yeah, it's
I just can't get my head around it.
I know it feels crazy, but it's like, how else do you like meet people in like today? I mean, like, yeah, you can go up to people at the bar, but then it's also like, think about how many weirdos you attract. Like when you're like, oh, this person will be my friend, and then you're like, oh, I ended up like being like, Jordan's notorious for it. Like me and Dave always like give Jordan so much crap because he'll like interact with someone at the bar and then they'll hang out like for the night, and me and Dave will be like, oh my God, why does Jordan always get it's always like weird dudes. And like I've like side texted Dave before with like Jordan in a group and just been like, Jordan brought another weirdo to hang out with us. Where like it's just like random people that happen to be out that night, which luckily we haven't had to hang out with like too many more of like those people like more than once. But it's kind of like a funny thing where it's like, like I want to go out, I want to make friends, I want to do this, I want to do it all organically. And it's like, you still meet the weirdos, like you still meet, like, you never know what you're gonna get regardless. But honestly, I kind of like I would love the idea of just happening upon like a new friend. Yeah. But I just feel like it doesn't happen that much. Like, I mean, I guess a good example of someone who knows how to make friends is Janae. She's friends with everyone she's ever met. Like, I swear to you, like, she'll just, like, you went to her birthday, there was over 30 people there.
There was quite a few people there. So a ton of friends.
I don't know how she does it. Like, she just, like, is like, I want to be friends with everyone, and I'm going to make it happen, which has always, like, been the most impressive thing to me. Meanwhile,
she's good at it.
She is good at it. Meanwhile, she looks at me and she goes, oh, is your social battery dead? Did you spend too much time around people? And I'm like, yeah, I did.
Yeah. Sometimes you just get that way. Just like, I think I'm sick of people today.
Oh, yeah, I get that way fast. That's also part of the problem. But I don't know. I think that making friends as an adult is like a unique experience where it's like everyone's just struggling so hard, but the reality is that all you can do is like put yourself out there and just go for it, which is like one of the worst parts in a way, where it's like, I really just have to like go out there and just be like, I want friends. Who here would like to be my friend?
Exactly. I'm gonna start doing that and see if it works.
I think you should.
I'll check back in and just listen, I tried it the other night. Didn't go well. They thought I was weird. I
feel like in that scenario, there's a very small chance that you're going to find someone new.
It's going to be a small chance, but I'm still going to give it a go. I think I'm going to try it this weekend at the game.
Oh, that would be fun.
At the Titans.
Hey, you know what? Me and Sam did make some friends at a Bruins game before.
All right, it's time.
It was a Bruins Preds. So it was like it was basically a Bruins game. Let's be real here. But
that's the goal at the Patriots Titans game. I'm gonna just say, hey, do you want to be friends?
Honestly, I think that's what we should do. That's what I'm gonna do.
All right,
we'll be in different sections. It'll be great.
We'll check back in when we check at the end of the game. Be like, how'd you do?
How many friends did you make today?
Tell me, did you get any friendship numbers?
How many friendship numbers did you collect? Oh, can we compete? Like, just like,
my God. Then I feel like if we compete, it'll just be like, I don't even remember whose number this is anymore. I don't think that would be good for us.
I did that once when I was growing up, except it was with getting boys' phone numbers. I got in a lot of trouble.
I bet you should have. You should have. I don't doubt that.
No, but I think I do think that like I get very like stagnant with like wanting to make friends, because like it's also like work to make friends and work to maintain those friends. And then like I think about all my friends that like I leave hanging all the time, where I'm like, oh yeah, I need to make time for this friend and that friend and this and that. And so I don't know, I think about a lot of the time where it's like, yeah, like I could make more friends, and I probably will at some point, but I get very like content where I'm like, I have my like 5 friends. I don't need more than that.
Right. Right.
My 5 Nashville friends, and then I've got a couple home friends, and then, you know, that's kind of all I work with.
Yep. Yeah. I guess the moral of the story is just go up to strangers and ask if they want to be your friend.
Thanks, Dad, for the advice. Anyway, if you would like to be our friend, please just let us know. You can connect with us on social media. You can go onto our website, listen to more of our episodes, anywhere you get podcasts. You're also going to be able to watch every single episode of Casting It Out now on YouTube. Starting with episode 2. Episode 1 is not up there, but all other episodes are up on YouTube and will be in the future. So if you want to look at our beautiful faces, or if you just want to listen to us yap, you have the options. And we'll look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Casting It Out.
Yay.